The title given to the fourth episode of From Season 3 is There and Back Again. This title indicates Tabitha returning back to the town. The episode began showing the people who are with Tabitha, examining the fallen tree blocking the road. The cop named Acosta orders the others to take a detour. Tabitha tries to warn them about the town, but they don't listen to her. In the town, Ethan takes the phone when the phone rings. The voice on the other side, who claims to be Thomas, warns Ethan that Tabitha is in trouble and will arrive in an ambulance. Jim sees Ethan talking on the phone when he reaches there and rips the phone off the wall in frustration. Jim asks Ethan about what the voice said, and Ethan tells him everything that the voice said. Meanwhile, Mary, who is examining Fatima, tells her that she is worried about Christy. Mary also tells Fatima that she looks better now. During nighttime, on the bus, Boyd and Randall are trying to observe the creatures. Randall talks about his experience when he was in coma and says that there are worse things than death in this town. In the log cabins, Kenny writes a letter to his mother, as it is a tradition to write letters to the dead on holidays. Christy reminds him that he is not alone. Jade, who couldn't sleep, asks them whether they are interested in hearing about his hallucinations. In Sarah's house, Victor builds a blanket fort and explains how he survived by staying in the root cellar when all the other residents died to Sarah. He says that the boy in white was his only friend for years. The suitcase in Victor's hand contains the precious belongings of those who died then. He wants to remember about them and the incidents that happened during that time by looking at their belongings. He also says that he does not want to do this alone, as he may have to remember scary things. That's why he wants the company of Sarah, who is the scariest person in the town. On the bus, Randall thinks that something is wrong because the creatures are not there yet. He explains to Boyd that they have a pattern which they repeat every night. Meanwhile, the ambulance reaches the town. Boyd and Randall see the ambulance. The Matthews family also sees the ambulance from their house. Boyd and Randall gets out of the bus to help. While the ambulance is moving forward, those who are in it sees a body on the road. Tabitha tries to stop them from getting out of the ambulance, but Acosta cuffs her to a bar, and they gets out. The creature who was laying on the road kills the two paramedics. Acosta shoots the creature, but it has no effect on it. When more creatures reaches near her, she runs away. Jim also gets out of his house to help Tabitha because of the phone call earlier. Jim finds Tabitha in the ambulance, followed by Boyd and Randall. Acosta runs towards the colony house and continues shooting at the creatures, but she accidentally shoots Nikki, who was watching from the window. The people of Colony House let Acosta in. Meanwhile, Randall begins to hallucinate about the cicadas and falls down. The creatures reaches near him and surrounds him. Meanwhile, Boyd, Jim, Tabitha, and Henry drives away in the ambulance and reaches the Colony House. Everyone is shocked after seeing Tabitha. Elgin then sees the kimono woman and follows her to the hallway, where she asks for help before disappearing. In Sarah's house, Victor starts to remember about those who died after seeing their belongings. He realizes that he doesn't have Christopher's belongings. He also explains that the missing object of Christopher is the doll named Jasper. He also remembers that he once found Christopher talking to Jasper and Jasper talking back. He realizes that Jasper can tell them what happened then. In the Colony House, Tabitha tells everything that happened to her to Jim. Meanwhile, Nikki dies and Boyd gets angry towards Acosta for firing wildly in a panic. After some time, Nikki's body is moved to a bedroom. Fatima reaches there and begins to drink the blood from Nikki's wound. Meanwhile, Boyd and Donna notices the ambulance's lights flashing outside. They look through the window and sees Randall, who has been tortured by the creatures on top of the ambulance. Randall suddenly regains consciousness.